my YouTube friends. Welcome to my gardens. A garden is a place where we can grow organic vegetables and greens, harvest tomatoes, cucumbers, squashes. Any garden is also a great place to spend time outside, inhale fresh air, enjoy the sun, the blue sky, the birds chirping, and other wonders and pleasures of nature. But sometimes gardens present us with surprises. Some surprises are very pleasant, but some are not. Today I am going to show you some surprises from my garden this season. Let's start with not so pleasant surprise. Let me show you the first not so pleasant surprise. This is one of my many green giant tulips. But here beneath are some unwanted volunteers, and they grew so much and became so visible at this season, and there's 3 of them. And now they're fighting for nutrients and water with tuya, and they're big enough, so I need to dig them out somehow and replant. This is another unwanted volunteer. Probably for 2 years it was hiding under this blue spruce and I did not see it. This season it grew a lot and now it's so visible, and somehow I also need to get rid of it and replant it. But in addition to unwelcomed volunteers, I have volunteers that are very much welcomed, and I'm talking about pansies. This spring I planted a lot of pansies, and I will show you clips from my previous videos, and you will see how these beautiful pansies bloom over the maybe 3-4 months of spring and early summer. But then they withered like this. But I decided not to pull them out, and they reseeded profusely. And now I have so many volunteers of pansies. Some of them already started to bloom. Now I will replant some of them in a more order, because right now they are scattered too much. And what is great, they will grow and they will flower for the whole fall until the last frost. And they usually survive our winters. So in the spring, they will come back to life and flower again the whole spring season. I'm so happy that they reseeded and produce a lot of new plants. The new plants are everywhere. Another variety of pansies started to bloom. A lot of new plants. One of the biggest surprises I found in my lilac garden. Some of my lilac trees became sick, and I treated them with fungicide, and I hoped it worked, because this lilac shed the old sick leaves and the new leaves are sprouting right now. But what came as a surprise, it started to bloom. And it seems that more blooms will appear in a few days. Amazing. Great, great surprise. And the flowers as usually smell wonderfully. Do you agree that this is a surprise to have lilac blooming in the fall? This is another pleasant surprise. Remember, for those who watch my videos regularly, I shared that a very great winter squash is growing in my garden. We already harvested a few these huge squashes. But the problem was that I thought I never planted this variety. This is what I bought as seeds. This is the packet with these squash seeds. And the picture shows how the fruit should look like. But these squashes didn't resemble the picture. But surprise, surprise, one of the squashes is now turning yellow, beautiful golden yellow color. There is a smaller sample. It's still green, but maybe it will turn yellow as well. But what about this wonderful wort? Look at this fruit. It's green, but those pretty warts are already there. Maybe this huge plant is the same variety that I bought, but it develops its beautiful features later on in the season. We will see. But this was a very pleasant surprise to me. I love cardinal flowers. They're very cheerful, have a long flowering period, and the birds just love them. They're perennials, but if you leave the flowers untouched, they produce seeds and reseed. And sometimes the new plants have something different from the red flowers. Let me introduce you to white cardinal flower. I have never had it before. So somehow it's a mutation, and instead of red flowers, I now have the white flower. I will wait until they finish flowering, and I will replant it to my all-white moonlight garden. This season I grew this new, for me at least, herb. It's very similar to a regular parsley. Very similar taste. Very beneficial plant, and in comparison to a regular parsley, it did not flower, so it kept producing leaves the whole season. But the most surprise comes not from the leaves, which are wonderful, but from the root. It turns out that this plant has roots very similar to root parsley. Let me dig one and show you. So this root is not that big, but smells wonderful, like a real parsley root. I already digged larger roots, and I prepared some dishes especially soups with them. But I will leave the rest of the roots to get bigger, and I will save them for the winter months. So it was a great surprise that from one plant I can have greens for the whole season, spring, summer and fall, and then dig the roots. In my herb garden I have a few plants of fennel. I love to eat the green part, but I also allow them to flower because I like the light green flowers which I use profusely in my flower arrangement. And of course they reseed. Next year I have new plants. But sometimes the seeds by the wind transported far away from my bed in my herb garden. This is a volunteer. The seed flew far, far away from the herb garden, and now it's growing right here at the corner of my wall. Green, beautiful, lush bush of fennel. And now it's ready to flower. Beautiful, lush, green bush of fennel. I hope you enjoyed little surprises from my garden. And if you do, please hit the like button, write the comments, and subscribe to my channel. And go outside. Enjoy the wonders of nature.